Hey, it's Pete from Abstract Ocean. Today we're installing B-pillar wraps for Model Y. So we're going to offer these in two basic options, so PPF or vinyl. And then for PPF it'll be glossy or clear or a satin sort of matte finish. We use Expel vinyl, so it's Stealth or their ultimate product. So best PPF you can buy, really easy to install, protects the area, as you can see, fingerprints, it'll get rid of any fingerprints. Especially the satin version or stealth version, because it's kind of a real nice kind of smooth texture that just gets rid of the gloss completely. Looks really nice and kind of matches this with the rest of the trim on the Model Y. The other option is vinyl, which will be in black carbon fibre or matrix black. So what we're going to do for this video, we'll install PPF first. We'll do the satin PPF or stealth PPF, and then we'll install carbon fibre, so you can kind of see the process. It's the same for both of them, but just doesn't hurt to show the slight differences. And if you come over here on the table, this is what you're going to get in the kit. So as you can see, we've either got carbon fibre in this case or PPF on this side. You'll get a soap solution. It won't come with water, so you just need to hydrate it. The soap is already in here. If you want to make your own, you can. It's just 5% dish soap and 95% water. You'll get one of these squeegees, either a yellow one or a white one. Typically we ship the white one with the fuzzy edge with the gloss PPF, so you would use the softer edge for that just to kind of finalize the install. And then of course a couple of alcohol wipes as well. So with that, let's get started. We're going to clean up the area and start with the PPF version. So the first thing we're going to do is clean the area. These are just regular alcohol wipes. You can, if you have your own isopropyl at home, this sort of thing, 91 or 70 something %, you can use that. It just gets rid of any oil, fingerprints, dirt, mark and everything else. You do want to make sure this is sort of almost literally squeaky clean, especially for the PPF, because PPF will show any dust underneath the surface. I'm going to open the doors. So the other thing to note, so the Model Y B-pillar is a little different to at least Model 3 Highland. It kind of has sort of rounded edges which are brushed off as well, so they're not glossy. So the PPF covers the gloss area, and then obviously it dips quite low behind the doors. So you want to make sure that you also just quickly clean the rubber surrounding the B-pillar, just because when you start the installation, you'll probably end up dragging the PPF across, part of the rubber. So we just want to make sure we don't pick up any muck off of that. Okay, I'm going to actually use another wipe real quick, just to get it perfect. All right, so we're going to start by spraying the area with a slip solution. Definitely don't be shy with this. Use plenty. And then as we peel off the PPF, we're going to go a little bit slowly. We're just going to grab a corner. I usually start at the top. And then we'll get to the camera opening. Go really slow around that bit because you don't want to stretch the PPF. I'm going to give that another little spray. And then just get the rest of that off. Spray the rest of it. And then just lay it onto the B-pillar like that. So you should be able to slide it around. If you cannot, then you want to just spray a bit more soap solution underneath just to make sure you can kind of position it properly. I'm actually going to spray a little bit up there because it's gripping a bit too much. Probably from where I was holding it. Okay, so that's good. So nice, hopefully you can see that, but nice movement. Really easy to get lined up. And then we're going to grab a squeegee. So there's three main positioning things you want to look at. And normally I start at the top, but obviously this top line here, at least on this Model Y, the trim is kind of just above the top of the B-pillar, so it's actually quite easy to see that top area. Of course, the camera opening, and then the bottom edge as well. The two edges here are straight, so they'll line up as long as you get the sort of four corners and the camera lined up. And obviously when you're applying it, bear in mind the B-pillars are sort of a crooked rectangle, so make sure you pick the right one for the side of the car that you're working on. So what I'm going to do first is just squeegee out the excess slip solution underneath. At this point the PPF should still be able to slide around, just not quite so easily, because we want to kind of really tighten in on the positioning of it. So down here, just get that lined up properly. I'm actually going to just bring that back up. There we go. So we're looking good up here, we're looking good around the camera, so I'm just going to squeegee this out and sort of lock this top section into place. Then again, I'm looking down this line. We don't want the PPF sort of hanging over the side, because that'll be a dust trap or a dirt trap, but we're all good. Looking good on these bottom corners as well. So now we're just going to pretty much finalise the install. I'm going quite quick here, but definitely pay attention. There's two sort of types of soap that gets trapped underneath the PPF. The first one is obvious because there's sort of bubbles there, so you can see it really easily. But the other is just kind of, there's no bubbles, but you can see it in the light. If you see any sort of a bit of a terrain kind of texture on the PPF, that just means that you've got some solution that you just need to release, and just release it to the nearest edge, which is either the camera opening either side or at the bottom. This is a really satisfying installation actually. I really like doing the Stealth PPF especially. It goes on so nice. Okay, so that was pretty good. So what we're going to do now is just grab a shop rag, dry it off, take one last look, make sure everything looks good. If it doesn't, you can peel it off at this point. It'll still come off pretty easily, and you can basically have a do-over. Obviously just be a little gentle, you don't want to stretch the PPF, but if it all looks good, then all you need to do, if you can, leave the car out in sunshine. It doesn't have to be hot sunshine, but sunshine will just help kind of finalize the installation, get rid of any remaining residue underneath the PPF. If you're not able to, if you're in a cold, wet climate, be sure not to drive your Model Y for at least a day, 24 hours, just to make sure that the PPF is going to stay in place. And if I quickly kind of close the doors. This is not a clean Model Y, but hopefully you can see that it matches the trim really nicely, and as you can see, it's completely resistant to fingerprints. Okay, so with that done, we're going to reset. We're going to install the vinyl B-pillar. Okay, so this is carbon fibre. Just kind of wanted to show you them side by side. So as you can see, it's fairly obvious when you hold it up which is the right one to use. So we're going to go with this one. The area is already clean. I just removed a layer of PPF, so I don't need to clean it with alcohol, but you certainly should if this is your first installation. And then same thing, I'm going to peel it back. There's pros and cons to vinyl over PPF. For the vinyl product, one of the pros is that especially these textured vinyls, the carbon fibre, the matrix black, if you do happen to have any dust or anything that's on here when you apply it, it kind of covers that pretty well. So you don't have to be quite as thorough with your cleaning as you do with the PPF. And this also doesn't stretch as much as well, so you can be a little bit more, or a little bit less gentle with it as you're applying it. It just kind of floats on really quite nicely. But other than that, it's the same approach as for PPF. So we're just going to place it. Make sure you can slide it around. And in case you're wondering, the reason we're doing a wet install, for something like this on a completely flat surface where you've got no contours, you're not having to heat the vinyl or anything else like that, it's much easier to wet install it, let it dry. If you're going to do a dry install, once you've got it placed, you're pretty much done, right? It's one and done. So if you don't have it perfectly aligned, there's not much you can do about it. So going this direction just makes it less error prone. Okay, grab a squeegee again. So we're using 3M 2080 vinyl. which is one of the best, if not the best vinyls, Avery being the other one that's generally regarded as being the best in the business. And the way that you apply this is there's obviously a glue layer on the back that has microchannels etched into it. It's called air release technology. So you want to make sure you squeegee every single part of the vinyl. If you don't, when the weather changes, it gets super hot, you may start to see some bubbles from air that was trapped that you just didn't notice when you're installing it. So although this is positioned perfectly now, I'm still going to kind of give it another quick squeegee just to make sure that we've got everything out from underneath. Again, shop rag, clean it up a little bit. So you saw how quick that was. Yeah, when we're designing these, this is, I think we got to about version 17 for this, so it's not quick getting the cut exactly right. So obviously done a bunch of these today, but the process itself is super easy. And again, with the vinyl, same as PPF, once you've applied it, park it in the sun if you can. If you can't, then just park it somewhere where it's not going to be subject to pretty severe weather, and just try not to drive it for a day or so to make sure that all of the moisture behind the vinyl has evaporated. Again, if I just close the doors on this filthy Model Y that we have on loan. So that's what the carbon fibre looks like. Again, really nice finish. We'll have Matrix Black as well, so you can see what that looks like on the website, but they're both great options for any Tesla. All right, thanks for watching.